Okay, everybody, so we're back, and I'm going to do the template for you guys to do what we did on Saturday, which was these guys right here. You know, some of you were asking about the tangles that we were doing on that, and I thought I would share them with you in a second video. So here we go. So we have that star that we started with here in the first video where we did our folding and all of that. So I'm just going to take it apart. And you can see it comes apart pretty easily. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, my piece with the flaps, and I'm just going to put it aside for now, and I'm just going to take our first triangle, and you can see that I'm just smoothing it out and making it easy for myself to work on. So at any time, if you need to pause me in this video, please do so. That way it's just going to make it so much easier for you, okay? All right, so here we go. We're going to start by going and doing our dots. Now, yesterday I had you guys work in pencil to make it easier for you to work on the piece, but if you want to just start with pen, just go for it. It's pretty self-explanatory. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with making my dots in the regular Zentangle way. And you can see that I'm not too close to the corners. I'm giving myself a little bit of space. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect my dots with a line. And I'm just going all the way around with my line. And so you can see now I've got my border already created just by doing that. Now the next step, if you need to pause me, remember, you can pause me here and just go ahead and do what you need to do. But the next step that we're going to do is we're going to make our V's in the corners. So remember those V's yesterday? Yep. So we're just making our V's in each corner. And this is where those really fun stones are going to come out of. So there's your V's in your corner. Now, when you're doing these V's, you know, you could make a second V, and this is what I did yesterday with you guys, and then this would all be colored in black, right? So I'll just go around to each of these and do a double V. And then later on, you'll puddle that V into black, okay? So now that we've got our corners, if you need to pause here and do your corners. But for those of you who are moving on, here we go. You can see that I've got these triangle-like shapes all over my, my triangle here. So I'm just going to flatten it out and let it be right there. And what I'll do is I'll just take my pen and go down the crease and just outline those shapes on the crease. That way it just gives me a very clear, concise way of knowing where I'm working here, okay? Once you've done that, we're gonna go ahead and make these beautiful flux tangles in there. So the way to do that is you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna make a dot right in the middle of your line here, and you'll go up, make your tier, and come down. You'll step down a little bit, go out, and return in. Step down here, go out, and you can see that I'm getting pretty close to that line over there with these flux. You'll step out, and see, now watch, I'm going to hit that line. See how I hit that line at the bottom? That's really nice. It fills the space up. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I step down, I come back to center, I step down, see how I'm down a little bit from the top, out and back in, and then this one's going to hit, watch, boom. So now I've got that really nice shape of flux in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a line halfway and dot dot, a line halfway, dot dot, a line halfway, dot dot, a line halfway, dot dot. And you'll just go over to the other side and do the same thing. And let it be free and easy. you know, no big whoop. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do that in all 3 triangles here, okay? So continue and I'll see you in a minute. So we're back and here we are. I've got all 4, or rather all 3 triangles here filled in with my flux. And now, you know me, I am the woman who does love Tipple. It is my favorite. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around into each part of this particular triangle here and start to fill in with Tipple. So Tipple is the name of the pattern. You know it's true. I do love me some Tipple. So go ahead and fill in through all 3 quadrants, and you can see, you know, I'm not being overly careful and concise with Tipple. I'm just kind of having some fun with it. And then you'll start to notice that you get these little weird crevices and places that you need to fill in. And you can go ahead and puddle into those areas. So you'll see that I'm just kind of going in and puddling into the Tipple. Now, one of the things that I want to reiterate about Tipple is a lot of people tend to make all of their Tipple the same size. I personally think that it's not interesting to look at when you have a bunch of Tipple that's all the same size. So you'll notice that all my Tipple is different sizes. I could even throw one in there. So I want to encourage you to make some big, some small, some medium. It just makes for a more interesting way to look at that specific tangle, okay? All right, I'll see you in a minute. You're gonna do that in all 3 of your triangles. So we're back again, and so you can see that I've had the opportunity to finish up and do all of my Tipple in here. So now we're gonna do our version of betweed here on this particular tile. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right where the middle of my flux is. So flux is this tangle right here. And so I'm just gonna make a dot right there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make a triangle that comes off of that dot. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make another triangle that goes over here and another triangle that goes over here. Nice big wide triangles. I'm doing 3 of them there, okay? Now I'm gonna see if I can blow this up for you a little bit. Here we are. Okay, so betweed, really easy. Sometimes we tend to make easy things really hard for ourselves. So just watch and then do. Here we go. So I'm just gonna go in here and I'm just gonna take one line and it's gonna go off center. Notice I am not going to the bottom of the V. I'm off center here, okay? Then I'll do another one right here. It's also gonna be off center. See how it's not landing here? It's landing off center. I'll go back to the other side and it's almost like you're weaving a braid. See how that works? I'll do it again over here so that you can see it. I'm not going here, I'm going off to the side. 1, off to the side. The next one's gonna land off to the side. It's not landing in the center. Off to the side, off to the side, off to the side. And then we've got these little areas off here. We're just gonna do a couple there just to make it look like it carries on. And then watch, I'm gonna turn my tile over and there are those very same V's that we just started with. It's the exact same thing, so don't make it more complicated for yourself here. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a V and then make another. All off center. See how I'm not landing in the center? See how that happened? Same thing over here. Off center, wham. Off center, wham. Off center, wham. One more, shazam, there it is. We're gonna go again, last one right here. Off center, off center, off center. Okay, now we're gonna go and do that very same thing all the way around your tile here. You know how to do it. So here we go. Right underneath the flux here, we're gonna make that wide triangle here. Let's see if we can make that wide triangle over here and then make it go all the way off. Same thing over here, up and over. One last time for between here. Off center. See how I'm not landing at the bottom of the V. Over, not landing at the bottom, over, over. Here I go again. I'm not landing here, I'm landing here. One, over, one, over, one, over, and here I go. That's the last one there. I've got these nice pieces on the side, 1 and 2, 1, that's it on that one. I'll turn my tile upside down. There's the exact same V's that we had before. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them off center. Just keep going off center, off center, off center, off center. You can do it. I believe in you. Let's do one last one here. We're doing our triangles, letting them go off the page. Here we go. Are you ready? Landing off the side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Off center. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Last one on these sides. Then we'll turn it upside down. There's our very same V's again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You got it. So there's that one right there. If you need to pause me right here and catch up, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, we're going to move on to our little flappy triangles. I'm just going to come over here. I've got these guys right here. Same thing as the other one, right? We're just going to go ahead and we're going to make our dots the Zentangle way, right? We set it up and then we knock it down. So I've got my dots. I'm going in, creating my border. There's my border there. Now this side's going to be a little bit different here because we've got these little flaps. Can you see how my little flap is right there? It's kind of, hello, nice to see you. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make those flaps go to the edge with a line. And then what we'll do is we'll do a V inside of that flap. And then we'll go over here, we'll do the same thing. We'll just make our line go to the edge. And then we'll do a V inside of that line. Same thing over here, do a V inside of the line. Just like that. So now you've got diamonds in all of your corners, right? Which is great because this is going to look really pretty. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll puddle. And I'm just, for the sake of this video, going to grab my little handy dandy Sharpie. Hopefully it's got enough juice to get us through here. So I'm just going in and I'm puddling inside of those V's, and that's going to make it so that when you attach the other star, it really pops. And I've seen a lot of people using this technique online, and I just think it's a really nice look. So I'm just going to go over here and do it in all 3 of my little flappy flaps here. Just really quickly going through, just for the sake of your time and for my time too, because making these videos seems to be a little bit of a challenge getting them out. I know I kept saying I was going to make videos and oh, goodness me, I just can't seem to find enough time in the day, but I know you understand, right? Okay, so we've got those flaps done. Now, we're going to go up into our corners yet again. So see how I've got this corner up here? I'm going to do a V here. and then I'm going to go and do a V inside my V, and then I'll switch my corners, V inside a V, and then I'm going to go over here and do a V inside a V. I'll go ahead and I'll grab my Sharpie. Now you could use like a Micron 03, you could use an 08, you know, whatever you have around that you like as your black pen. I know some people don't care for the Sharpies. You know, I like them for certain projects. They're good that way. They'll help you to move a little bit more quickly. I've used Sharpies on quite a bit of my my Zentangles, but you could use any kind of pen that works for you. Okay, so getting to the bottom one right here. Got those guys in there. So there is that part of the story here. So you've now got all of the areas in which you could do diamonds in, or you could do all your different stones in here like we did in class. Really, really fun. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the same exact thing that we did on the other border in this border right here. So same thing, we're just going to not have that other tangle to line up with. So you can see that when I go like this, I get a nice crease. I'm just following that crease down to the center line right here. Can you see that? So there's my dot. And then I'll go ahead and I'll make my triangle nice and wide. And then my triangles will go off the side. And I'm just going to go around and do my triangles all the way around here. So I'm just lining it up with that middle spot. You can hear my dogs in the background, sorry about that. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do between again, and here we are. So we'll start right here. Remember, we're going off center. We're not landing in the bottom of the V. 1, off center, 2, off center, 3, off center. And you'll just keep going back and forth, and you start to get into a rhythm of it. You know, you'll start to be like, oh, I think I got this. And once you got it, you've got it. It just takes a minute. So remember, here we are, same set of V's, right? It's the same thing. So we're just gonna go again, going again, one more time. All right, let's go all the way around. This is my version of fast forward. You ever seen those videos where they speed it up and they go really quickly? Okay, that drives me crazy. Because then I'm like, wait, what did you just do? Oh my God, I can't keep up. And I'm sure some of you are like, I can't keep up right now, Rami, you're a crazy lady. But I'm really not going that fast. Rick and Maria go a lot quicker than I do. Right, Stephanie? I'm sure that you know. Stephanie's one of my very, very lovely students, and she is very precise in the way that she tangles, and so she takes her time, and you can take your time too. I was just doing a little shout out to her. All right, so just going around, finishing up our between here. One last one. See, once you get into the rhythm of it, you really can start to feel it out. Okay, so one of the things that I forgot to do in the first tile was I forgot to add our black into the top. So I'm just gonna go back in. I'm gonna quickly put this in. And I'm just adding in that black. Now, there are some of you out there, I'm sure that this is eventually going to hit other Zentangle sites and not just for my students that I see here in the Bay Area. I want you to know that if you want to do this straight up in black and white and graphite, you are totally welcome to do that. I don't want you to feel like, you know, that being a purely Zentangle traditionalist is not acceptable here. I am totally down with people doing it in black and white. You just know that my way of expressing myself as a Zentangle artist is that I just really love to add color. But I wanted to do this template so that people could just really see it and then go for it on their own. So what I'm doing is I'm just remaking my star here, and then I'm going back and I'm grabbing the other one. So this is the bottom one. And I'm just getting my flappy flaps ready to work. And what I'll do is I'll just start to slide it in. So you're looking for that crease there, right? And then you'll slide it in. Takes a minute, but once you get it, you got it. And there is the template for the star. I'm gonna try to lift this up here and not mess it up. Okay, so there's your star. Go ahead and color or use your graphite. I know it's not the only way to do it with color, but here are some of the color ones that we had from class yesterday, so you can see how pretty that turned out. And then I'm going to grab another one from class yesterday. This is a different one. So go out and be creative, people. Get your Zen on, sisters and brothers. All right, I'll see you soon. If you want to visit me at tangledyogi.com or like me on Facebook at Tangled Yogi, I would sure love the likes. Share it all out there, people. Zen on.